Residential scale in Brasilia, a city built in the 60s, can be seen in the Superquadra, where the buildings are involved in a green belt, has free ground plan, and a free facade with horizontal window. The apartment has two kinds of access: the back door, where you have a kitchen, and a front door, where you can access the living room, our case of study. The living room is a transition space, maybe the most public space in our Brazilian home. Here, we can receive our guests, friends, family, or someone from work. So, it can have as intimacy as we want it to have. We can have a business meeting, throw a party, very common in the 60s, where all the furniture were put aside, or just share experiences with family. This, as we can see, is a linear space that gathers the living and the dining room all in one. Here we can also observe the straight line from the beginning of the modern movement. And we can also check the great effect that the free design facade can bring to the interior, bringing light and blending the outside with the inside. Here, the dining place, where people can simply eat, talk, or play cards. And from the window, we can look the amazing green view, hear the birds, or maybe call the kids back home, because the building has 6 floors maximum.
Inside this house in Madrid, called Casa Garate, the 60s style can be appreciated. It has been conserved in its original state, maintaining all the architectural and interiorist elements of the epoch in which it was built. It was completed in 1968.
This style was based on the most striking colors. In interior decoration, geometric shapes were widely used, especially curvilinear ones, which gave the impression of having movement. They focused more on visual impact than aesthetic itself. These forms were taken to the walls, armchairs, art, tables, etc. The inspiration for this whole style came from a combination of futurism and Art Deco.
Some characteristics of the style can be clearly appreciated inside the house. The details of the mirrors on the ceiling give great amplitude to the space. The stained glass window of the staircase filters the light.
The living room has the focus on the fireplace and the garden. This area of the living room has organic forms that combine with materials such as stone, marble, and wood.
Typical of the decade is the integrated furniture as one more element of the architecture, as it can be appreciated in this wooden furniture that continue on a roof that is an organic blockade. The marble is a careful work of marquetry, generating stairs that allow the spaces to adapt and don't seem that big.
In the garden, the big circle pool of 30 square meters of diameter takes center stage. Another eye-catching element of the house is the barbecue excavated on the ground, with a circular stone seat around where the embers were located.
Another circular and organic element is the playground for the kids.
This architectural piece reminds of the constructions of the 50s, simulating a chapel.
The house is located in Catanzaro, Italy, and has a typical countryside look. The living room in the 60s in Italy used to be a formal space, a room where to entertain the hosts. However, other than this function, it was not used very often by the family. It was considered a sort of special room. The typical wooden cabinets with glass shutters are the main protagonists of the Italian living room. Their purpose was to show the most precious silverware and the crystals inherited from the past generations. The general colors are warm, brownish. All the furniture is made out of wood, a more cheap but resistant material, widely used during the 60s in all traditional furniture design. In fact, it is possible to say that even if during the second half of the 1900s, the Italian design was becoming popular worldwide, but the middle class was still decorating their houses with simple furniture made out of lacquered wood, brushed glass, or flowery tapestry. On the walls, pictures and small paintings are hanged as a memory of the past, but also as a symbol of the years spent in that house.